Have you ever felt that time moves too fast? Or that certain moments stretch endlessly, as if the universe itself were breathing slower? What if time doesn't move at all? What if the flow you feel is just an illusion created by your consciousness? What if everything that has ever happened and everything that ever will is happening right now? Get ready, because what you're about to hear could completely change the way you see life, destiny, and the universe itself. Modern science is starting to uncover what ancient mystics always whispered. Time is not a straight line. It's not a road from the past to the future, but a field, an invisible fabric that doesn't flow but exists. Inside that field, past, present, and future coexist, vibrating together like different frequencies of the same cosmic song. What you call now is simply the point of awareness where your consciousness is focused in that eternal melody. Imagine for a moment that time doesn't move forward, it pulses. Each beat is an entire universe happening at once. Einstein's theory of relativity, combined with quantum mechanics, shows that time isn't a universal constant, but a mirror of perception. For someone in another galaxy, your future might already be their present. That means your life, as you experience it, may be nothing more than a carefully orchestrated illusion of motion within eternity. But if that's true, if the future already exists, what happens to free will? Where does destiny fit in? And if time isn't real, what does that say about birth, death, and everything in between? Maybe the truth lies deeper than science has ever dared to go, in the realization that the observer and time are one and the same. The universe doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. This isn't about theory, it's about awareness. Because when you truly understand time, you realize you're not trapped by it. You begin to live outside the clock, outside fear, outside urgency. And you discover a truth that changes everything. Time doesn't exist, but eternity lives within you. And when that realization lands, something profound awakens. Because maybe the future isn't ahead of you. Maybe it already happened, and what you call life is simply your consciousness remembering it one moment at a time. From the moment we're born, we are taught that time flows forward, from the past to the future like a river that never stops. We count birthdays, mark calendars, and chase deadlines, believing that every second lost is gone forever. But what if time doesn't flow at all? What if the feeling of movement is just an illusion created by the mind, a mental tool that turns eternity into something we can understand? Linear time isn't an objective truth. It's a perception designed to help consciousness experience the infinite one frame at a time. Einstein's theory of relativity destroyed the idea of absolute time. He revealed that time can stretch, bend, and even slow down depending on speed and gravity. There is no universal now. Your present could already be someone else's past, or someone's future, happening simultaneously in the same universe. Time isn't a river, it's a landscape. And as consciousness moves through that landscape, it believes it's traveling forward, when in truth, it's just shifting its focus across eternity. Imagine that the universe is a film where all frames exist at once. You think you're watching one scene after another, but the projector of awareness simply lights up one frame at a time. The past, the present, and the future are already there, waiting for observation. What you call change is nothing more than your perception jumping from one image to another, believing in motion, while the entire movie already exists from beginning to end. This illusion has a purpose. Without it, there would be no story, no growth, no evolution. The brain uses linear time as a map, allowing life to unfold as a sequence of events. But outside the mind, the universe doesn't need clocks. It simply is. The passing of time is not a property of the cosmos. It's a property of perception. You're not moving through time, your awareness is moving through the infinite present. And that illusion of motion is where human suffering begins. When you believe that time flows, you believe you can be trapped by the past and threatened by the future. Anxiety, guilt, and regret are born from trying to control something that doesn't exist. But when you realize that everything, every memory and every possibility, exists simultaneously, you begin to sense the freedom of eternity. Nothing is lost. Nothing is waiting. Everything simply is. And once this truth touches you, time itself begins to dissolve. The clock becomes a symbol of perception, not of reality. Because maybe the future isn't something to reach, maybe it already happened. And right now you're not heading toward it, you're simply remembering it frame by frame in the endless movie of existence. Now imagine the universe not as a film that unfolds frame by frame, but as a massive cosmic block. A timeless sculpture that contains every event that ever was and ever will be. Physicists call this the block universe theory. In this model, time doesn't pass, it exists. Every moment, from the birth of the first star to your next breath, is already etched into the structure of spacetime. You don't move through time. You move within it, shifting your focus from one layer of reality to another. Einstein's relativity supports this idea. Space and time are not separate entities, they're woven together into a single fabric called spacetime. When you move through space, you also move through time, and each observer slices this fabric differently. That means every person, every planet, every galaxy experiences a unique version of now. There isn't one universal present. There are countless nows, all existing simultaneously within the same cosmic framework. This means that the universe doesn't happen. It is. Nothing truly begins or ends. Everything simply exists. Your birth, your greatest joys, and even your final moment are all part of the same eternal geometry. What we call change is simply consciousness exploring different coordinates of this structure. Like a traveler moving through a map, awareness doesn't alter the map, it discovers it. Every moment is real. Every point in time already exists somewhere in the block. It's a strange thought but liberating too, because if every event already exists, nothing is ever lost. Every version of you, the child you once were, the person you are now, and the one you're still becoming, coexist in different layers of the same infinite structure. You are not a being moving through time. You are a being existing across time, experiencing yourself through different windows of perception. Look at the stars. The light reaching your eyes tonight began its journey millions of years ago. You're literally seeing the past while standing in your present. Two realities overlapping in one moment. For the universe, both are equally real. The past and future are simply directions in space-time. The distinction exists only in your perception, not in the cosmos itself. But there's a twist. If everything is already written, if the block of time is complete, where does uncertainty come from? How can something new ever happen? The answer hides in the quantum world, where the universe seems to play by an entirely different set of rules. Rules that bend the very fabric of the block itself. Quantum physics arrived like a cosmic rebellion against certainty. While relativity paints a universe that is elegant, predictable, and continuous, the quantum world is its wild twin, chaotic, mysterious, and full of surprises. In this microscopic realm, the rules of classical reality collapse. Particles vanish and reappear, exist in two places at once, and behave differently depending on whether they're being observed. It's as if consciousness itself has the power to decide which version of reality becomes real. This idea, known as the observer effect, reshapes everything we thought we knew about time and destiny. If observation influences reality, then the future isn't a fixed story, it's a field of probabilities waiting to be chosen. Quantum mechanics suggests that all possible outcomes already exist in superposition until awareness collapses one into existence. In other words, your consciousness doesn't merely experience time, it helps create it, moment by moment, choice by choice. Consider a radioactive atom that could decay at any moment. No equation can predict exactly when it will happen. It might decay now or 1,000 years from now. This uncertainty isn't due to a lack of information. It's built into the fabric of existence. The universe itself doesn't know the outcome until it happens. That means the future can't be completely predetermined. It's open, fluid, and responsive to observation. If everything at the quantum level is uncertain, then every moment is a fresh creation. Reality becomes a painting in progress rather than a finished masterpiece. You're not walking through a pre-written story, you're navigating a sea of possibilities. Each decision, thought, and emotion acts like a wave collapsing one version of the universe into being. You don't control reality, you participate in its unfolding. This understanding turns the block universe into something dynamic and alive. Perhaps time is a structure, but one that keeps expanding as consciousness interacts with it. You can think of it as a movie being written while it's being played. The frames may exist in potential, but they only light up when awareness touches them. Reality, therefore, isn't static. It's a living dialogue between matter and mind. And that's where the mystery deepens. Because if observation shapes reality, then the observer and the universe are not separate. They are one continuous field of energy, consciousness experiencing itself through time. The question is no longer what is real, but who is perceiving it. And that brings us face to face with the greatest paradox of all. If the mind creates time, can it also step outside of it? If time is a field of possibilities and consciousness is the observer that collapses them into form, then a profound question arises. Do we truly have free will, or is it only an illusion inside an already written universe? Physics seems to trap us between two extremes, determinism and randomness. One says everything is fixed, the other that everything is uncertain. But perhaps consciousness is the bridge between the two, the element that turns fate into experience, transforming probability into choice. Science still can't explain what consciousness really is. It doesn't exist inside the brain the way electricity runs through wires. It's not a byproduct of neurons, it's the invisible field that perceives the neurons. Yet, experiments suggest that observation, the act of awareness, can alter physical outcomes. This means the universe isn't a machine running on autopilot. It's a living conversation between mind and matter. Your focus doesn't merely watch the world, it helps shape it. Imagine consciousness as a flashlight moving across the map of space-time. The map, the block universe, might already contain all possible paths, but your attention determines which one lights up. Free will then isn't about rewriting the universe. It's about choosing which version of it you experience. Destiny and choice coexist in harmony. You're not changing the story, you're deciding which chapter your awareness will enter next. Yet the illusion of control still tempts us. The mind believes it can manage time, bend outcomes, and manipulate the future. But the harder it tries, the more trapped it becomes in its own projections. The clock becomes a cage, a constant reminder of a reality it can't control. True power doesn't come from fighting time, it comes from stepping out of it. The moment you become fully present, the need for control dissolves, and a deeper intelligence begins to guide your actions naturally. This is what mystics call awakening. It happens in moments of deep stillness, when you're watching the sunset, meditating, or losing yourself in music. Suddenly, the division between the observer and the observed disappears. There's no you inside time anymore, only timeless awareness witnessing itself through form. You're not the character in the story, you're the consciousness writing it, reading it, and watching it all at once. And that's the heart of the paradox. Free will exists precisely because you are both the creator and the creation. The future may already exist, but it's incomplete until consciousness perceives it. You are the key that activates each potential timeline. Time doesn't control you, it obeys your frequency. When awareness recognizes its own infinite nature, time collapses and what remains is truth. You are the eternal observer dreaming within the illusion of seconds. When you realize that time is only a construct of perception, something profound awakens. The present expands. The now stops being a fleeting instant between past and future and reveals itself as the only true dimension of existence. Everything that has ever happened and everything that ever will is contained in this eternal moment. The past is memory vibrating within consciousness, and the future is that same vibration projected forward. In truth, time doesn't pass. It pulses like the heartbeat of the universe itself. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring the past or dismissing the future. It means recognizing that both are expressions of the same infinite field of awareness. When you anchor yourself in the now, fear about what's coming and regret about what's gone begin to dissolve. You understand that tomorrow is born from the energy you hold today. Change your frequency now, and you alter the timeline across all directions of existence. The universe doesn't respond to clocks, it responds to coherence. That's why manifestation is not magic, it's resonance. The quantum field mirrors the vibration you emit. If you radiate fear, time rearranges itself to confirm that fear. If you vibrate love, it reconfigures to match that harmony. Every thought is a signal, every emotion a command, and every belief a frequency. You're not passively moving through time. Time is moving through you, reshaping itself to echo your inner state. This is what both science and spirituality agree on. The power lies in presence. The past can't be changed because it's still happening somewhere in the block of time. The future isn't uncertain because it already exists as a potential waiting for your alignment. The now is the meeting point where all realities converge, the doorway where the infinite folds into experience. When you are fully conscious of that, there's no more waiting. Creation happens instantly. But the now isn't a place, it's a state of awareness. It begins when the mind stops chasing understanding and sinks into pure observation. In that silence, you feel it. There was never a beginning and there will never be an end. Life isn't moving forward. It's revealing itself through you moment after moment within the same eternal stillness. The universe doesn't travel through time. It breathes through presence. And then the paradox resolves itself. Time isn't real, but the experience of it is. The future has already happened, but you can reshape it by shifting your vibration right now. You are not the victim of time, you are its architect. Once you understand this, the clock becomes your ally. Because in the present moment, you're not just alive, you are creating reality itself. Time is the greatest illusion the universe ever created. It convinces you that you're moving forward when, in truth, you're standing in the center of all possibilities. The clock ticks, the seasons change, but the awareness behind it all, the one watching, never moves. You were never inside time. Time was always inside you. And when you realize this, something extraordinary happens. The pressure disappears. The race ends. The eternal begins. What we call the future isn't ahead of you, it's a frequency waiting to be accessed. It already exists, but it vibrates in another dimension of awareness. When you raise your energy, you change the station you're tuned to. That's why two people can live in the same world but experience completely different realities. Time simply mirrors the vibration of your consciousness. The higher your frequency, the lighter your timeline becomes. Maybe you don't need to chase your dreams anymore. Maybe they're already real, waiting for the version of you who's ready to meet them. The universe never denies your desires, it only matches your vibration. Manifestation is not about forcing reality to obey your will. It's about aligning with the timeline where your desires already exist. You don't create the future, you tune into it. The true portal to creation is silence. The now is the most powerful point in the universe, the place where all timelines converge. When you are fully present, the past rewrites itself and the future reorganizes around your awareness. You stop chasing what's next and start embodying what already is. The more you surrender to the now, the more the universe flows through you effortlessly, shaping itself in response to your inner state. So here's the question that remains. If time isn't real, what's really stopping you from living the reality your future self already remembers? Everything you seek, love, peace, abundance, already exists in this eternal moment. Time was never the enemy, belief in separation was. The moment you awaken from that illusion, time bows before your awareness. Because the eternal was never somewhere else, it was always you. If this message resonated with you, it's not by accident. Nothing ever happens later. The fact that you're hearing these words means your consciousness was ready to remember. So take a deep breath, feel the now, and subscribe to Mindifest, where science meets spirit and where time finally stops running, because here the eternal begins.